All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Talk with Steven this week's edition. First of all, I would like to apologize to you guys because the last week Talk with Steven was cancelled because I was a part of a support team in organizing a conference called New Age Learner Virtual Conference for school students. And it's a virtual conference where we have about like 7,000 students from all across Malaysia, and I was selected as one of the support team to help this event. And one crazy thing is we all were in our respective house and we made this conference happen, and it was so good. So that's why last week I couldn't able to join, couldn't able to do the talk with Steven session because we were very busy with preparing for that particular segment. So for that's why we are back with this big talk show. And this big talk show, we're going to talk about the lockdown and its effects on the employment and jobs. I feel it's very important topic because my profession is marketing and sales, and which means I have to talk to a lot of people. So when I talk to a lot of people in the past few weeks, especially after they're going to announce the lockdown and everything, they are already afraid of when they're going to lose their job, or they talking about pay cuts. They're talking about they're going to retrench. Just one word they hear suddenly from the management or from the colleagues, something like the management is thinking about retrenchment or something, that's all, they go haywire. They're already thinking like, oh my god, my job is gone, they're going to retrench me, they're going to do this. They're already talking about all these things. So that's why I feel like this is going to be a very, very important topic this week, for this topic and everything. For our guest speaker, I have invited our guest speaker, Mr. Saranjit Singh, to be here with us today. And before I invite our guest speaker, I would like to thank our sponsors for today, who is ETIDs. ETIDs is a co-organizer of this Talk with Steven talk show. ETIDs is a social business incubator where we focus on developing entrepreneurs who can step out of the system and solve world problems collectively and selflessly at its root cause. And ETIDs is a place where I find my passion, which is talking, marketing, and sales, and I make it as my career, and I develop myself as a person. And in a way, I'm now contributing back to society, impacting the people out there as well. So thank you, ETIDs, for that. And this talk show is also co-sponsored by PMDK. PMDK is an NGO that focuses on providing a platform and the guidance to the younger generation so that they can also go out there and do something about their passion, build their career while they were still young, and achieve holistic success. Why PMDK work is very important, because I was living in a very bad environment last time when I was a teenager, and this place really influenced me a lot when I grow up. And thank God I have a nice family. I scared of my mother, so I don't go and involve in this kind of things. And also thank God I found ET ideas where they guided me in my career and my passion. Without them, I could have easily become a gangster or do something else and everything. So that's why PMDK works is very important to engage and guide the youngsters out there. So thank you, ET Ideas and PMDK, for sponsoring us and also doing what you do best. So I think enough of me talking. We can invite our guest speaker today. I've prepared a nice slide. So our guest speaker who going to talk about the effect on employment about this lockdown is Mr. Saranjit Singh. So Saranjit is a senior management consultant as a GLC, very big GLC in Malaysia. And he also awarded Best Employee Award in 2010 and also in 2017. 2 times. That's amazing. And he is also the speaker at the Dare to Live virtual conference, which is organized by ET Ideas, and he also an ET Idea Associates. And he's also one of the council member in ET Ideas who is leading the ET Ideas to a greater heights this time and everything. So I'm very excited to have Saranjit back again. Why I'm saying back again is when I went live with Saranjit the very first time, which was on February, 2nd of February. Now it's 2nd of June. I'm bringing him back again. I'm so excited about this. So without any further ado, let's welcome Saranjit.
Hi, Steven.
Hello, Saranjit. Saranjit, when I look at the dates only, I realize I went in
Yeah.
live with you at 2nd February. Now it's 2nd June. I'm going live with you again. It's like
It's
4
a little
months.
bit like, hari ni dalam sejarah kind of a context.
Yes, and I also remember the first time we went live, it was so much of chaos because we don't know how to do the live, you don't know how to come into the live.
Yeah.
So I was blabbering in front of the live and all. So, but now we are very professional, doing it very professionally. I really like it. So we have audience already watching. Thank you, Liz, for saying hi, Steve. Thank you very much. So if you guys are watching, do share this live session with people because I think it's a very important topic that many people that need to hear it from Saranjit. Okay, Sanjay, how are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm good, Steven. Thank you for having me today, Steven. Thank you
Okay,
to
and thank you
ETLS and
for yeah,
PMDK. Yeah.
thank you for agreeing to be the guest speaker today. So we're going to talk about the your view on the lockdown and how it's going to impact the what is this? How it's going to impact the jobs and employment and everything. First of all, Sanjit, I'd like to ask you this question. You are literally working from home. I think I can see the drawings in your back, which is your kid's
Yeah.
drawing, I guess. Hopefully, it's not yours.
No.
So,
Well,
uh,
yeah. It's my son's drawing. I'm actually using his room. I'm sharing his room. This is his playroom, so that's my office as well, lah.
good, good, good. So that's one of the challenges in working from home, which is
Yes.
okay. But my question is, when they announce the lockdown, right? Do you feel like, oh my god, I'm going to retrench? Do you have any fears or this kind of things that have to that you have?
I yeah, thank you for that question, Stephen. Also, once again, thank you for having me in this platform. I think this platform has grown a lot. I can see that advancement which has happened. Like Stephen was
Mhm.
mentioning, the first time I had this session, I was struggling for the first 10 minutes to get into the session. Today, it was a very smooth process. So yeah, back to the question, Stephen. First time when I heard the lockdown, what actually triggered, what already happened in me was, uh, when the first time the pandemic happened, I was still conducting a project. We just started a new project and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So when we heard this rumor of there's going to be such thing called lockdown, I was actually honestly, uh, I didn't know what to expect, because for the longest time ever, I always wanted to work from home. We used to always bitch about this idea that hey, we should be working from home, working from home, working from home, and
Mhm.
suddenly the reality is actually happening. There was this thing coming, and the rumor had it that we'll all be working from home. So the first thing which came to my mind is that, is this really going to happen, or is this just another rumor, from people who have nothing else to do? But yeah, sure enough, when it actually happened, when I listened, I remember that was the first time the prime minister announced, and I was literally sitting in front of the TV to actually hear it. And when he announced, the first thing which came to my mind is like, wow, now I have easily on my plate at least 3-4 hours extra every day, because that's the kind of time we spend traveling to work, getting stuck in traffic, traveling from one meeting to another meeting. So roughly in the day, like 2 to 3 hours. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And then my wife was next to me. She looked at me and said, okay, now I've got no excuse for not doing exercise. I said, okay, that's going to be the first thing which comes to my mind, to actually literally do exercise. But yeah, that entire night, right? I of course I didn't go and buy things and stuff like that, because we stay in an area where things are easily available. But that night I had this thought that, hey, you know what? This is going to be an opportunity for me to actually try to do something different, something which I really wanted to do, and this is the moment, this is an opportunity. So that was the very thing which I think came into me, lah, or rather, which my within the conversation I had within myself. Yeah.
Which means you look at this pandemic and everything as an opportunity for you.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, my again, I truly feel saddened by the virus, and also people who are impacted. I can see around every day, we read all kind of news, and we see all kind of things which are happening. My sympathies, and also my empathize for people who are going through the pandemic, our frontliners who are working day and night tirelessly to just battle this COVID, this virus. But again, on my side, that's how I looked at it, as an opportunity, because first and foremost, this is the time where you are told to stay at home. Jangan pergi mana-mana, duduk rumah. It's like, nobody can tell you to go anywhere. Bosses can't say anything, right? So sit at home. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
finally, I'm going to literally sit in this house which I bought some time ago, and I'm going to be with my family. Always complain, not enough time for family, not enough time. Now you have all the time. So yep, that was what actually transpired, that context.
Okay, okay, okay. That is somebody asked a question just now, which is how is this pandemic affecting the work culture in Malaysia? So, what is your? I think you're also doing some trainings about culture and all, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
how? What
exactly.
is the comment about this question?
To start off with, it's certainly going to change a lot, lah, if you ask me, lah. In terms of, I come from the training industry. uh, I'll let you know some figures. What we could charge people in a region of 2,000 ringgit, 1,600 ringgit for a 2 days training. Today we only can charge them not even a quarter, not even 500 ringgit, because the way training is conducted these days has really changed. Last time you have a nice venue, you can give people food, you can host people, you give them materials. Today all that has been replaced by just our screens. Okay, basically You sit at home now. Everybody else sit at home. Your participants also sit at home, and so you can't. You literally only have you and yourself and the, your of course your screen and all these things. So it has changed the work culture in that context. But more importantly, I think people have begun to value that sense of balance between being able to do what is necessary at home, at the same time spend the I would that equal amount of time, or rather that balanced amount of time at work, so that we now have a hybrid way of working. Okay, that means if there's really a pressing matter you need to go to your office, you still can go, but nevertheless, otherwise you just stay at home to get your work done. So that has certainly shifted. We can see that everywhere systems, processes, technology is coming into hand, or rather technology is coming very handy these days. Last time, what we need to sign documents, all that is done with today. You literally can sign documents on your phone and get work done, get payments made across different parties via bank transfers. Yeah, there's really no need actually to look at it from the perspective of going out there and doing work, unless there is certain things you still probably need to go out there and do. But I think in a greater scale of things, a lot of things have people are reprioritizing how work is done. People are reviewing how work is done. A lot of processes, like where I come from, the organization I come from, we got about 36,000 people. Today, about 70 to 80% of us are working from home. Okay, literally those who are working at site, they will have to work at site because their work nature is such. If there's an interruption of service, then they will have to be at the site looking into that particular task. But where else, I think in the landscape of Malaysia, that has changed so much. You don't have to waste your time traveling, driving your car, etc. So that culture has changed now, and of course, when the culture changes, it comes with new challenges. Now you no longer talk about dealing with stress at work. Now you're talking about how do I deal, how do I balance between my family and my work. That's a new topic. People call it work-life integration. Whatever you want to call it, life is still one. Whether you're at work or whether you're at home, that's your one life. Okay, how you choose to live with it is it's up to you. Nowadays, there's no such thing as working times. I have done work as early as 3 o'clock in the morning, as late as 1 o'clock at night. So I think that's all up to how we negotiate with our teammates when they are free, when they have tasks, when they have work, when they want to do their work. As long as what's really important here, I think we are moving towards what the Western people have moved towards long time ago. I'm not saying it's the best, but we too in Malaysia are moving towards outcome-based work. That means as long as you produce your results, you are good to go. That's the thing I think they have moved to. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting takeaway from here. Audience, if you guys have any questions, please do ask. The session will be much more interesting and more relevant to you if you can ask the questions. If not, I will just ask all my questions. So if you have any question regarding your workplace, or if you have any thoughts regarding your job, how to do this, how to do that, this is your best time to comment and ask, so that Saranjit can answer about it and everything. So, okay, Sanjit, my next question is Saranjit. How can a person, like, they are already in the fear? Like, even yesterday I spoke to someone who is already, like, in the stress mode of, oh my god, I'm going to lose my job, oh my god, I'm going to do this and everything. How they can handle these kind of things? Because the moment they hear about retrenchment or something, their fear start to kick in. How they can manage their fears, and how they can focus on their job? How did you do this? I'm sure you also have all this fear and stress in work, and how
Yeah.
did you manage?
I think that's one very real situation right now. 2 3 days ago, the Prime Minister mentioned about ministers not taking salary, right? Okay, that I mean, I happen to be in front of, I happen to hear that statement being made. I was like, okay, fine. Next day, I hear that all government representatives at certain level, their perks will be cut. Okay, that was still fine. Today morning, I'm hearing that even my organization is thinking about, looking at how perks can be actually. Okay, we will still give you the basic salary, but can we channel these perks to somewhere else to help people? Now it's real.
Like,
Now
give to
this thing
somebody
is
else.
it's give it to somebody else, or give it to a fund. Normally they'll put it into a fund. So now the situation is becoming very real. So initially the thought was, okay, it's happening to other people, it's fine, right? But now when it comes closer to me, that fear starts like, wish, okay. And if this happens to me, then I was just thinking last night, okay, if this happens to me, fine lah. As long as I know the money is going to something good, which is fine. Of course, will it impact my lifestyle? I'm grateful I have enough. Of course, certainly it will impact my lifestyle in a way, because I think we all have this thing called salary and we're dependent on salary. But again, now it comes to the point of talking about this concept of fear. Okay, I think fear is all within our mind lah, how we look at it lah. If you say the first word you hear in a lockdown and you worry about retrenchment, okay, let me guarantee you, if you keep thinking that enough, you will certainly lose your job. Okay, and I think at ET Ideas, learning how the mind works, how your subconscious mind works, how your thought process works, is what we all do at the fundamental stage. Right, I'm very grateful for that. Right, guys. So if you actually want to learn about how to look or manage your thoughts and your fear, certainly do join our colleagues at ET Ideas. But now, how do you actually deal with it in a situation like a breakdown? Now, of course, the best thing is to divert your mind to something else. Divert your mind to something else. Everybody has different ways of dealing with fear, right? If you have the fear, if you have fear of the dark, you install a light, you bring light into that place. So then, when there's light, you don't no longer feel fear. But again, in this context of lockdown, think about how or what else can you do. I'm sure there is something you can do differently, very very differently, or rather, not whatever. Maybe you had this goal of you wanted to start a business. You had this goal of wanted to write this blog, or you wanted to sing a song, you wanted to play guitar. Anything, go do something which you have interest in, which will take you away from the aspect of fear. I think I was talking to Stephen the other day and having this conversation of a lot of people, when they hear the word lockdown, they are scared of losing their jobs. Now, I was just looking at some statistics. Okay, in Malaysia, just last year, about 100,000 people, 106 or 107,000 people got retrenched. Now, there are many millions of people working, but only 100,000 people got retrenched. So is it really true that you will get retrenched in a lockdown? Is something which, in America, so we hear that there are so many billion people, but only about 3 million people lost their job. So the percentage is small. Okay, certainly the fear is there. The fear is there, right? But let's look at it. Let's dissect the fear and ask the question that if your employee was to let you go, okay, certainly your employee is also going to, your employment is also going to die, because there were no workers. They also eventually will go out of doing anything. They won't be able to do anything. So look at the logic. Before you get laid off, your bosses, your owners of the companies will have to think through this whole process. If they let you go, they lose their opportunity of getting work done. So don't worry about being retrenched, guys, but rather ask yourself this question: hey, this is my opportunity to even do greater work now during the pandemic. This is the time to show your value. This is the time to literally try to give ideas. Believe me, a lot of employees this time of the year, this time of the time, of course, they're worried about money, but they're also open to a lot of ideas in terms of growing your business. Right? So
Because
nothing
they
wrong.
want some fresh ideas to improve their business, right?
Fantastic. Exactly that. So take away your mind from, stop thinking about losing your job and start thinking about how you can do better or look out for some other opportunities. Switch your mind, ask the question of what are the opportunities you're not looking at, right? Instead of worrying about the lockdown and the fear, switch the question of asking, hey, what opportunity that I can actually harvest from this situation, or what opportunities can I actually embrace in that context? Yeah, it's probably just
But
switching
but
the questions. Yeah,
but saying that, it's also very difficult to switch, from the
absolutely.
worrying mode to here, and that's why we have this talk show. So when whoever is listening to it right now or going to listen to it later, if you guys have that thought, like what's happening to the job and everything, like what Saranjit says, try to switch your mind and see what you can get from this, what opportunities you have, how you can add value and everything. I remember, Saranjit, I was having a conversation with my housemate yesterday, and this person mentioned that their company also talking about retrenchment or something like that. And then this person mentioned, like, I don't know whether they will retrench or not lah. She's not worried. She says like, I don't know lah, I don't know this lah and everything. But then I told this person, I told her that if they want to retrench you, they need to hire 2 or 3 more people to replace your job. So there is no way they're going to retrench you and everything. So I think that yesterday also you mentioned something like that, right, Saranjit? You need to do your job so good that whenever they talk about retrenchment or anything, you won't come into their mind. So
Right. So
yep.
yeah, I think in any organization, the people of the there is people working there are the assets. Now, if you have a good asset, you will certainly never want to let that asset go. Let's put it that way. So
Yep.
the question then goes back of how do you become a good asset? Do your job to your best. Now, a lot of people ask me a question about how to do my work. Like, when I want to do something, my boss will say A, will say B, this one cannot, that one cannot. Well, to start off with, try to make your work so good, so much no error, or make your personality. Or sorry, don't talk about personality. Make your work error free. Make your work so good, so organized that when people receive your work, they look at your work and say, wow, this is what I wanted. They cannot find fault with your work. And how can you do that? How can you become so good at your work? Nowadays you have the internet. Okay, you can always, if let's say you're working as a clerk, or you're working as an accountant or an engineer, whatever, let's say you're working as an electrical engineer, or you're working as an accountant, you can always go and Google to find out what are good accountants doing out there. Pick up some examples, pick up some ideas, and work on those ideas, right? But most importantly, I think it's about whatever task you are given. Okay, I think I was sharing with Stephen. Always ask this question: whatever task which is at work, at your hand, always ask the question of how is this trying to help me grow? Because look at it this way: nature always provides us an opportunity on a daily basis to grow. So when a task comes to us, it means that there is an opportunity for us to grow. Okay, so instead of whining and complaining and then saying that my work sucks and stuff like that, switch that and ask the question of, hey, this task, what opportunity it delivers to me? Can I develop a new skill? Can I bring about a new opportunity? I'm sure your work is definitely creating some value somewhere. So the question here is, to ask is, what opportunity can I achieve, or what opportunity can I open myself to when I do this work? Now, let's say you're doing a presentation, okay, and you ask this question, what opportunity? If you do your presentation so well in front of your management team, your management is of course going to recognize, and you know what? The next time when there's a need for a presentation, they're not going to think about anybody else but you. They're going to actually call you because you did such a great job the previous time, right? So that is that opportunity. Let's say your boss asks you to write a letter. Okay, you write the letter so well. Okay, you go you Google, you try to find out how to write the best letter. You catch all your friends, your sister, your brother, you catch out everybody to find out how to write the best letter. And then finally, you go to your boss and you give your boss, and your boss reads the thing and say, "Wow, I think this letter is really good, very well written." And that's your opportunity for the next progression, for the next what do you call this, growth. So if you don't assume, you don't take all these tasks, or if you don't take your work, your current work, as a platform for you to go to the next level, then very hard for you to grow. So whatever task which come, tell yourself, hey, this is an opportunity for me to grow. This is an opportunity for me to step up. This is an opportunity for me to progress forward. So that's how I think you can certainly become an asset to an organization.
I have a question, Saranjit. When you're telling about take every single thing as an opportunity, on how you can give your best and everything, right? What if you're just bored about the routine work? Like, if suddenly your boss come and ask, okay, this is the letter, okay, write a letter. So you give your best and write a letter. And what if your job is to write letter the entire day, just your job scope, and you keep
Okay.
writing and writing and writing? It's become a routine after that.
Yeah, it becomes a
And,
mandate. Okay.
yeah. So what you can
Yeah.
do there?
Okay, certainly. Now, for situations like where you feel that the job is no longer challenging and you are up for a better challenge, you want something of greater challenge. Now, the first thing you do is talk lah. Talk to your boss, have that conversation. Now, if you can't have a conversation with your boss, that's already a very good sign that you're not having a good work relationship with your supervisor. Okay, all that is important. Okay, I think if let's say if you're let's go back to the context of family lah, you and your brother. If there's something you are not in agreement with your brother and you can't tell your brother, that simply means that your relationship with his relationship is not so good. Okay, so now if you have this task where you're given and it's boring, tell your boss, tell your supervisor, tell your immediate manager that, hey, you know what, can I try something different? Can I try? A lot of us, we don't even tell that. We don't even start that conversation because we are too worried we get sacked. Nobody will sack you. Everybody will, if you tell your boss that, right, you tell your immediate manager that you want something different, definitely probably glad to give you something different. Okay. So if you don't like what you are doing, have a conversation with your immediate manager or your boss. And after that conversation, nothing happens, guys. Then it's time to probably do something different. Go look for another company. go look for that particular business you want to do and stuff. And then don't torture yourself. Remember, you decide to stay there. If the day you don't like to work there, don't give this excuse, I got no choice, like, I got no money. Then quietly do your work. Don't complain. Okay. If you have to, you have to earn for your family, don't complain. Just do your work. But if you're going to complain, then remember, you are the one still staying there. I mean, sorry, still being there at employment. You can always choose to exit in that context if you want to. But again, what's really important here is have that open conversation with your be transparent, be honest, right? Sit down with your immediate managers and have the conversation and see how else you can actually change and have a better, or refresh your job in that context.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Audience, if you guys have any question, please do ask the question. We only have about another 5 to 7 more minutes left. If you have any question, do ask so that the answer will be very personalized to you. Okay, so Saranjit, our next question that I have is, the what is this? The working world and everything. The pandemic is totally going to affect. We don't know that whether it's going to affect or it's not going to affect. We actually don't know, and everything. And you also mentioned about how you can do your job best, how you can do an incredible job and everything. And you also mentioned about how you can go and start a conversation with your boss and everything. So when you started to have this conversation with your boss, how does it feel? Because I'm sure talking to a boss or someone is very scary and everything, right? How they can start to have a good relationship with their bosses and managers and everything.
I think the first things first, lah. You need to remove this perception that bosses are monsters, or bosses are better than you, or bosses are superior than you. Okay, a lot of us are scared to go and talk to our bosses because we worry what our boss will think, or my boss will think I'm no good, or the boss will think I'm trying to bother him and stuff like that. That's the very perception we need to change. Bosses are just human beings. Bosses are just people like us with probably better experience and a little bit more years of service, probably, right? So I think the fear that you have that I cannot talk to my boss is a very false fear. It's a very, very false fear, because I've been working for the past 16, 17 years now. I have not come across a boss which is not open to have a conversation with me. Okay. It was always me at the initial stages when I used to work in a factory and stuff like that. I used to be very scared of my supervisor, but then one fine day, I don't know lah, maybe because of experience, because of age, and one fine day I realized that, hey, this one only in my own brain, this fear thing. Actually, the boss is just another person like me. So only thing, yeah lah, probably a bit more better skills and stuff like that. So let's stop treating our bosses like somebody who like God or something. No, don't worry. Okay, I know a lot of us have this perception that bosses are better, bosses will get upset, bosses will think we are very vulnerable. All that is just your perception within your mind. Until you don't go and have that conversation with your boss, you will never know. And really, if you do have the conversation and your boss says that don't talk to me, then you know that you are not in the right place of work. Okay, or maybe your approach wasn't the best and stuff like that. But guys, go talk to your bosses, because your bosses are also normal human beings. Right? They are not some dangerous, scary people. Yeah, who bite. Yeah.
Communication, guys. Effective communication is very, very important on how you talk to your boss. But then, more than talking to the boss, you need to understand about yourself first. Manage yourself, your fears, and your perception about bosses. That's what Saranjit mentioned and everything. Once you overcome that, then talking to the boss or manager, it is become even more easier and interesting for people to do. Okay, Sanjit, we got only 2 more minutes. Sanjit, do you have anything to say to our audience today?
Yeah, probably let's think about what are some of the potential opportunities during this pandemic. Okay, I think one of the things which I have foreseen during this pandemic is that opportunities to go for courses. We have so many courses. For example, like ET Ideas, the platform, we have so many good training programs, which I think if you're looking for yourself to step up your game in life, you want to do something you are really passionate about. Okay, you see, every successful entrepreneur started from somewhere. Any successful, what do you call this person, started from somewhere. Now, if you want to become that successful person, use this pandemic as an opportunity for you to go leverage on learning new things. Okay, we have a list of fantastic programs at ET Ideas. Check out. I mean, get in touch with Steven. Speak to him. Right. The one which I know up in my mind here is Be It Your Best is a fantastic program. I learned tremendously from that program, life changing, right? At the same time, this is also an opportunity for you to reflect, right? Sit down and ask yourself, am I doing what I'm really happy? Am I happy with my life? Am I doing whatever I plan in my life the way I want it? And if not, this is a good time to ask the question, how else can I do it? Right? You can, pick up a hobby, or rather than just sit at home and watch Netflix and make Netflix super rich, which is good, which is fine. Okay, right? Do that as well. But don't last spend the whole day on Netflix on the bed and then just doing nothing and then complaining and everything is not so fantastic. No, let's change that. Go look for some. And training programs are so affordable nowadays. Really, during the pandemic, right, people have dropped their prices a lot. Okay, in terms of, you don't have to waste your money on traveling, flying to different countries, staying in expensive hotels. All that is no more. Pick up a
True.
book. Yeah, we have what they call this, some fantastic book written by our colleagues at ET Ideas. Ilengo Tiago has written a book. Hasha has written a book. Go pick up these books. These books are so practical information that, you know what, you read it, it's like, hey, I can do this. Go do it. Go try. Or even better, if you're just stuck, you got no ideas, you don't know what opportunities to do, just call my friend Steven here. You can have a conversation with you, and I guarantee you, after that conversation, you'll get some ideas on what else can you do in life. Over to you, Steven.
Thank you very much, Saranjit. Saranjit say contact me. So I have to create a banner right now. So this is my contact number. If you guys want, do contact me and have a chat with me, so that we can see what we can do to help you out from ETIDS side or anything else. We also have a conference that is coming out from ETIDS side, which is called Dare to Leave Conference, and it's going to happen on end of this year. Our theme for this conference is stepping into the future, because I feel like it's a new future for us with the COVID-19 and everything. I don't know whether things will go back to normal or not. Looking at it right now, I don't think so. It will go back to normal. It's going to be something totally new for us. We're going to live with it right now. So it's nice to hear the speakers talking about how did they have stepping into their future and all this stuff. And we have 32 speakers this time. And
Wow.
Saranjit is one of the speakers there talking about how he's solving world problems in terms of working place, with few other speakers. So it's
Yeah.
going to be incredible. If you guys want to contact me, and it's just 150 ringgit, so it's affordable for everyone to go.
Yeah.
So
This program is really different, guys. I mean, if you're listening out there, it's truly different. It's not about all these theories. I'm in that platform. I have been in the workshop, 2 days workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like nothing. You will not find a platform like this. You will never find a program like this. You know why? Because people come and share real examples with real results. It's not about those harsh, those fluffy ideas or knowledge and concepts. No, these are real examples with real results. Ordinary people achieving extraordinary results, and that's what really blows my mind every time now. Yeah.
thank you, Saranjit, for sharing that, and
Right.
thank you for your time for sharing with us and everything. Guys, one thing that I learned from this section today is look everything as an opportunity. You can look at Saranjit is working from home, his kid is working inside, so that's how work from home is right now. So
Yeah.
hello, Jorover.
Come, let me just bring him up. Okay, now he's a bit shy. Okay.
Okay, so cute. Okay, like look everything as an opportunity and take things. Go talk to your boss and everything. That only you can build a correct communication and everything with your people. Thank you, Saranjit, for sharing that. Thank
All
you
right.
guys for
No
watching.
problems,
If
man.
you guys
Thank
want,
you,
you can
guys.
follow ET Ideas in Facebook. You can follow ET Ideas in Instagram. You can also follow PMBK, and you can also follow me in Facebook, where I'll be doing live session every single week. So you can watch. And those of you who are watching, if you're an entrepreneur, do join my next week's segment, because we're going to bring someone, who's going to talk about lockdown and its effect on the entrepreneurial journey. And we're going to bring in someone whose business is totally affected during the first few MCOs, and his business totally shut down. But he never retrenched anybody. Nothing happened, and he managed to keep his team alive and motivated. He was trying a lot of new things, and because he was doing that, his team, his industry itself started to look at him as an inspiration, and he got a lot of opportunity because of that. And now this lockdown again, I don't feel like he's so scared. Oh my god, I lost my business or anything. He's just already looking into like opportunities, just like what Saranjit is saying, looking into opportunities. What are the things that he can do different and everything. I'm so excited to have him in my talk show. So it's going to happen next week, Wednesday. I will put out the link tomorrow. So do fill up the form and RSVP so that I can give you guys a text so that you can join this live session. So thank you, Saranjit. Thank you guys for watching. It's been nice
Thank you,
talking to
guys.
you guys. So bye. See you guys next week.